The Senzo Meyiwa Murder Trial is set to resume in the High Court in Pretoria today if defense advocate Charles Mnisi withdraws from representing accused number one, that's Muzi Sibiya. Then there may be more lengthy delays in this matter. Just last week, you might remember, Mnisi threatened to pull out as Sibiya's lawyer after the court said it will only grant him until Tuesday to complete preparations for his defense. Now, the High Court had previously given Mnisi 2 months to prepare. That's after Sibiya's previous legal representative in Thulani Mngomezulu passed away in December last year. Watching all these moving parts is our senior reporter, Chriselda Lewis, joining us now live once again from the High Court in Pretoria. And Chriselda, we are dealing potentially with yet another dramatic twist to this particular case, given how the last session ended.
Well, that's right, Ayanda, and we'll certainly know which way the wind blows in that particular matter once we get underway at 10 o'clock this morning. As you correctly pointed out, we're expected to hear from advocate Charles Mnisi whether he will continue representing accused number one, Muzi Sibiya. And as you correctly pointed out as well, he'd been given about 2 months and a couple of weeks in order to prepare for the defense of his client, of course, after having taken over from the late Thulani Mngomezulu, after Mngomezulu had passed away late last year. He then took on the defense for accused number one, Muzi Sibiya, indeed threatening last week to pull out in terms of representing accused number one. You'd know, of course, that he also represents accused number three, Mngomezulu. So we'll know this morning whether he will be withdrawing, or even likely what could possibly also happen, Ayanda. There could possibly be a likelihood that Mnisi might bring an application for a further postponement, because what was quite clear in his assertion in court last week was that he was not going to be prepared, on Tuesday, which is today, and this is only up until today that the judge has given him. We saw Judge Rata Mokgotleng quite visibly upset last week when Mnisi indicated that he was not. The judge said he was granting a final postponement to today. That's when we heard from Mnisi indicating that he would likely, or threatened, to possibly withdraw from representing accused number one, Muzi Sibiya. So that's what we're kind of expecting in court this morning, with a number of twists and turns, of course, when the defense was asked about what their thoughts were for an additional postponement in this matter. The state prosecutor, advocate George Beloy, saying, look, if Mnisi is indicating that he is not ready, there's not much that the state can do in this instance, but what would be quite pivotal is that we know that the Meyiwa family has been waiting for justice for very long. There are many interested parties in this matter, including the general public, that want to see the wheels of justice turn quite fast. So with the multiple delays that we've had in this matter, quite a number of them, they're really hoping the wind blows, there's got to be some kind of finality in this particular matter. So whether Mnisi withdraws in this particular instance, that is bound to cause a massive delay, because if he does withdraw, this means that Muzi Sibiya would need to get another lawyer, and that lawyer would need sufficient time to familiarize themselves with this case before we even start or begin this matter once again. And if he does not withdraw, look, this is just mere speculation on my part. If he does bring an application for a postponement, that would mean he would need to give substantive reasons why he would need this particular postponement, because you would know last week Judge Rata Mokgotleng visibly upset, accusing Mnisi of wasting the court's time, of taking advantage of the court processes, and basically saying that this matter needs to be done and dusted. But I did speak to one legal analyst who says if Mnisi withdraws, we're bound to see yet another massive delay in this particular matter. Let's listen to what Ulrich Roux told me when I spoke to him.
Unfortunately, if Mr. Mnisi confirms on Tuesday that he is not ready, and he then accordingly withdraws as the legal representative of accused number one, then we can expect another delay in the matter and a postponement of the matter in order for accused number one to secure alternative legal representation, and for his legal representative then to prepare adequately in order to proceed with the trial. Most likely, given what transpired on the previous appearance, this is going to be the case, and we are looking at another lengthy postponement in order for accused number one to secure adequate legal representation in order for the matter to proceed accordingly. Once again, it comes down to accused number one's constitutional right to legal representation and to be represented adequately and fairly in the matter where he's faced with these charges. In terms of Section 342A of the Criminal Procedure Act, the court must make a determination whether there has been any undue delays which has obstructed the finalization of the matter. Now, in this instance, the facts are quite unique. The legal representative sadly passed away, and accordingly, that delay in the matter was unavoidable. The delays have not been caused by the state, so there's no chance that the matter is struck from the court's roll. The matter is also partly heard, which means that the charges cannot just simply be withdrawn or the matter struck off the court's roll because of any of the delays. It is now a pending matter, and accordingly it must be finalized. What we could possibly see is that the state applies for a separation of trial. In other words, they will continue against the other accused, and then they will have the opportunity to run a trial against accused number one only. The chances of this happening, though, I think are slim, given that all five accused have already, pleaded to the charges. They are already partly heard, and accordingly, it complicates matters severely. The crux of the matter is that accused number one needs to secure adequate legal representation. That legal representative needs to be adequately prepared in order to ensure that the matter is run in accordance with our constitution and in accordance with the accused's rights. But certainly an unfortunate turn of events, to say the least, and one can expect even further delays now, given the position of accused number one's legal representative.
Well, Ayanda, essentially we'll hear at 10 o'clock this morning exactly which way this is going to go, whether Mnisi withdraws or whether he brings an application for a further postponement. All of that is likely to be made very clear once court proceedings get underway this morning. But what was quite clear from Judge Ratamukwatleng is that he didn't want any further delays in this particular matter. You'd know the twists and turns that we've seen in this case since it started. And I think, the general concern at this particular time is that the Meyiwa family wants justice to be seen to be done. The ordinary public who've been watching this case quite closely, have also been wanting to see some kind of finality in this matter, or at least the case moving forward.